I'm really not a fan of the wine. That's why I mix it about 50-50 with 7-Up.
Oh, there you go.
What?
I thought you were gonna say whiskey. I was like,
No. Oh, that's
You could not get a bottle of wine that cheap in Canada. Like, I think the cheapest one we could get here is probably about $10.
wow.
And in Canada, the government sets a minimum for alcohol like prices. I knew
Yeah.
that, which is kind
Well,
of
like the government owns, like here, it's all regulated, so the government owns all the liquor stores. The only thing you can buy domestic beer at like gas stations and stuff, but even that they take a big subsidy on. So like, that's it, man.
that's how it
Socialism.
is here too.
I mean, you get licensed. I think it depends on the state, though. Or
Wow.
the federal. The
Well,
feds don't
I
set
meant
minimums.
Washington.
Yeah.
You can buy beer anywhere, but all the liquor stores are owned by the state.
Not Midwest, baby. You go down to the grocery store, there's hard liquor and ammo.
Yep.
Yeah.
Welcome to Walmart.
And then like lunch meat, you know?
Unless it's Indiana, then
Yeah.
on Sunday, no
Yeah.
booze for you, sir. No
Yeah.
alcohol on Sunday. Welcome to Blue Book State.
You know you're in the Midwest when you can buy your whiskey and your shotgun shells in the same
That's
place.
right. The same aisle. It's in the same aisle.
That's brilliant.
No, you don't want to
like
forget.
a
So
wine
you're like
bottles.
holiday packs, instead of getting like a free glass, you get like some
Yeah.
rounds of ammunition.
The wine bottles are
Exactly.
corked with a 12-gauge shell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's your 50th bottle of bourbon this year. Would you like a free bandolier of ammo? Damn right I would. I'm angry now.
So Steve, last week you missed some carnage, man.
I
yeah,
died.
I was kind of wondering. Oh shit!
Yeah,
Chrissy
Chrissy
died.
died, or her character died.
So you're playing a new character now?
Nope.
No, she. Well, I guess I shouldn't tell you because you weren't there. I'll let someone
Okay,
in character tell you what happened.
cool.
So I kind of
Excited.
changed it a little bit. Instead of saying they took you to the farm, we'll just say that you hung out at the campsite in the woods.
Okay.
So that way we don't have to deal with them going to get you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely a drain on the party, but if we can minimize that, that would be
Yeah. So yeah, you were out of commission for a
Guess
day.
who
I don't
gets
know.
watch duty tonight while everybody else sleeps?
Maybe you had the runs or something. That'd be pretty
But
hilarious.
what about Sprout? We can stick him with that, right?
Sprout left.
He's the one who needs sleep the most.
He quit.
He quit because he passed out too many times.
Yeah. Yeah, last session was rough. Samson took 17 to the face and he couldn't heal it back for the whole thing.
Well, it was the white because it dropped your maximum. Wasn't that
Yeah,
the problem?
yeah. The
Yeah.
shadow hit me, critted me. I got hit twice. 2 crits.
Yeah.
First crit made my max HP 10. The second crit on another encounter knocked me right out.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Lex was rolling hot.
Yeah. 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 It was crazy. I crit on Nathan like 3 times.
The only times I got hit were a crit.
That's the nice thing about Roll20. At least no one can say I'm cheating because everybody.
If you
sees the
can't hit
rolls.
him, crit him, right?
That's right.
Nothing I can do about crits.
So this will be interesting tonight because I had the next adventure planned for like a couple weeks now, but I hadn't worked out all the details, and I was getting writer's block on the details today. So like 2 hours before we played, I didn't scrap the idea. I'm still going to do it later, but I came up with something totally different. So
No,
a little bit of improv tonight.
All right.
No, I'm good with that.
That's if we may not even get that far. You never know how far you're going to get. Oh, before we get started, I kind of want to know the color thing. The name
Okay.
would be nice too, but the colors I kind of want to know before we go much further. Chrissy has a motion on the table, or on the floor, however you say it. And
I put a color palette. I changed
Yeah.
out the periwinkle for the gray, like Steve suggested.
oh, did you?
It's-
I didn't see
When
the
I
new
put it-
one.
No, the color palette that I put up there has the gray in it.
Right.
Periwinkle
okay.
is what I originally suggested. When he suggested the gray, I made an
Gotcha.
actual like color palette.
Should load that up.
I didn't know if Nathan or
I mean, it's not a big deal.
I mean,
It
I
is
haven't,
like
I haven't made a comment on it because I don't care.
I have to say, I got the last one basically in Tyranny of Dragons, so I don't want to dominate this stuff. So
You got the last
All right.
one. What do you mean?
yeah, I came up with the
Shoot.
name and the color. The golden
Oh,
Shuko.
oh, that's right. That's right. Gotcha. All right.
I mean, I like it. I mean, it's fine. I harbor no ill will towards that color palette.
It does make us seem like some like 1980s like Saturday morning cartoon villains. Like it has that kind of vibe to it. But I kind of like that. So
You say that like it's a bad thing.
who's the bad guy in Care Bears? Like he looks kind of like Sauron, but he's not.
Care Bears had a bad guy.
Yeah, man, Shrieky was his like.
They gotta
was-
shoot their
was the
stomach
little one.
juice at someone. Right?
I gotta check this
Care
out, man.
Bears antagonist, No Heart, Professor
Heart, yes.
Coldheart. Oh, yeah, that kind of looks like a villain. I like his eyebrows.
Is
So
he a
it's
fuzzy
like-
bear too?
Yeah, so it's like purple, gray, and gold, kind of, or purple, gray. and-
Yeah. Purple,
like-
gray, and gold.
It's like a purple jacket with gray pants and
Now,
Gold.
Chrissy, are
Fun.
you picking the gold more of like a metallic, like shiny
Yeah.
color?
I just
Cool.
couldn't. I couldn't get
Right,
the
right.
program to make it more metallic.
Yeah, awesome.
There are
Okay.
colors by my name. How'd that happen?
Trying to think up like group names, and that was really hard. I came up with like just this was me spitballing last night, but the Fated Travelers or something like that. Like I don't know. I was trying to find something that was like a little bit not like the Skull Crushers. Something
mean,
a
like-
little bit more like
like a name has
generalized.
to be unifying. And
Everything
I don't know.
that I thought of was either too girly or too conceited.
So
What about Dance Dance
pastel
Revolution, man?
butterflies.
we should
Dance
just do a
Dance Revolution.
brainstorming session. Everybody just go through and think of one, and then we'll do it that way. Because like you always say, when you brainstorm, your first couple ideas are usually cliches or terrible. So
Yeah.
I will say I'm gonna go. Mine will be Team Fire Strike.
Okay. I'll put these in chat so you have a list. Team Firestrike. I kind of like it.
And Steve came up with what? The Fated Travelers.
Or my secondary one is Dance Dance Revolution.
Dance Dance Revolution. Chrissy, give us a couple that you thought up.
Or I think Fated with a T.
Oh,
Yeah.
the Fated Traveler. You guys have been out in the
That's
sun way too
I mean,
long.
Fated's pretty good too, though.
It sounds like a brand of jeans.
I know,
We've been
right?
around for a while. Like, it gives us credibility. It makes us seem experienced, you know.
The Fated Traveler.
I've got the Dawn Treaders, which
Oh, cool.
on
Narnia.
second thought,
That's
yeah,
from
on a
C.S.
second
Lewis.
thought, that's a little, yeah. crypto-
I love the
in
Dawn
there.
Treader. That was my favorite Narnia book.
All right, Chrissy, what
Yeah.
do you got for us?
It's the name of the boat.
She's like, I got the colors, man. I can't do everything.
Come on, throw something, man. Throw something.
Hey, I put the pastel butterflies in the thread. Okay, I was the only one who actually put a name in the thread.
The pastel
love it.
butterflies. All right. I will say for a second one, Expeditions Unlimited.
Nice.
Okay.
Steve, you got to come up with a second one.
Oh yeah, man. Let me think about something.
And if you guys don't come up with something you really like right now, like we can just kind of just not mention it and give you more time. Like the name we don't have to have. I just kind of wanted colors, which you'll
It'd be
find
the
out why.
DCC, Dungeon Crawlers Core.
That's a game.
Yeah, I don't know.
right?
It's like the funny part is like our characters may have spent some time together, but like we haven't spent some time together with our characters, so it's
Sure.
like
Sure.
it's a bit harder to find what's something that's suitable to the group, or we don't have a really good like story yet.
Right. Well, we can table
And
that for
I guess-
now.
Yeah,
If no one's
could
like
mock,
super excited about anything.
we can mock
Donuts.
Toad,
Donuts and
Fudgeless.
Dungeons.
the Toad Slayers. or
Now
something.
we're getting creative though. We're just
Yeah, right. Now the good ideas are coming out.
You know, that was actually a typo. I meant to put donuts in dungeons, but I like Fungeons better.
I wondered if
Like
maybe
the
you meant Funyuns.
Yeah.
Toad
Toad lickers.
Toad
Um,
Lickers,
The
He's
load
dead.
tickers.
are gone.
Oh man, I'm burning up. I gotta quit taking showers. Or take cold showers.
I don't
I
recommend.
disagree.
I was about to say, no.
As an
colder.
online friend, I have no problem.
Yeah, I mean,
right. My stench can't come over the internet, thank
Sorry.
God.
not yet.
Smell-o-vision's not a real thing. Yeah.
I don't know. Names are like the hardest thing. Like the golden shoe
Right.
happens just
Yeah.
like randomly and organically.
Well, we can say, or maybe you guys want to say in character that you haven't chosen a name yet. Maybe your
Yeah.
characters are having that, like you're like, we haven't really done enough to know what it should be.
Yeah.
And honestly, it only
Maybe
really
we're-
matters
Maybe we
once you're
can be
famous.
like the
But I
Just-
mean, I give the color palette a total.
Okay. It's like you guys are like Pearl Jam when they were like playing local bars and stuff. You know, it's like nobody cares what your name is at that point. You could totally change it when
Yeah.
you make it big and no one will know.
fire and ice.
I don't do ice skating.
You know something I thought, I mean, I don't have an idea, but you know, one thing that's kind of unique about this party is like you guys are all about the arcane. With the exception of Nathan's
True.
characters, like everybody's like a full-on arcane caster of some kind, and even
Which
Nathan's
is why I
character
thought
is-
purple was a great
yeah.
main color for us.
Man, Dwayne's
I like
cranking them out.
the I like the
Brainstorm.
YouTube
That's what it's all
comment
about.
there. The we need healers.
What's the name of the city that you were in?
Elandria.
Elandria. What about the Elandria Globetrotters? We do magical shit, kind of like the Globetrotters do. Drop the globe.
We break for healers.
Arcane Cowboys. Elandrian Dungeon Disassociation. We break up
Riders
dungeons.
of the Storm.
Riders
I
of
love
the
it.
Storm.
Then you guys would have a theme song too.
Oh man, maybe we should think of a theme song first, and then
Yeah.
like track back from that.
Yeah. Man, Dwayne, I'm coming to you next time I need something named. You'll like give me 50 ideas.
Well, you should see the brainstorming for my campaigns. I always, I'll come up. I'll make a goal of 25 different ideas, and
Wow.
then just write them all down, and then sleep on it, and then select them, and go through that whole process. There's
Whoa, we just put two veil things at the same time.
Oh shit!
Nice.
We're
I like
getting
the veil
simpatico
creatures
here.
slightly better.
That was kind of weird that we both put
All right.
veil breaking apart things at the same time. Sorry, Dwayne.
Whoa.
no, I don't know.
I like to tee up faces for people sometimes. They want to take more screenshots.
All right, I have to change my color. I got to be different.
Oh yeah, there's like 3 shades of pinkish prairie purple there.
I'm keeping violet because that's the color of Ray's eyes, man.
Ah.
I'm
I
gonna
wish
go-
there was
oh,
a-
wait, I can only change one color. The other one has to be white or clear or whatever.
Yeah, I guess.
Still
I don't
stay
even know what
brown.
that is. That didn't used to
I
be
like
there.
that gold or
Oh,
mustard
the
color.
color is your default drawing color and your ping color.
Oh,
Oh. Can you change your default drawing color?
Yeah, well, I mean, your default
also
drawing
the
color
color
is
of the
the
arrow.
color of your face. Whatever. Yeah, it's color of your arrow too. So like if I change my color to red, the ping will be red. The default drawing color becomes that shade of red, which you now need to delete. And my arrow is now red.
Why can't there
The
ever
warp
be a good
weavers.
blue-green on palettes?
Big B's badass brokers.
let's just keep going on along that line. Tinsers, timely.
Oh, that reminds me. I have some
Troubadours.
lore.
You have some what lore?
Yeah, I did some came up with some stuff. I haven't typed it up yet. So I thought it might be important to know what temples are in Elandria, just in case you guys ever need someone resurrected or something. Not that that would ever happen. So there is a temple to Ioun, who is the goddess of knowledge, civilization, history, trade, crafting, and culture. Hanali, goddess of love, fertility, beauty, pleasure, healing, protection, and Sehanine, goddess of magic and creation. So those are the 3 temples. And there might be some smaller shrines to other gods. Probably are. And I decided that the patrons of your organization of the guild are Ioun and Sehanine. And within the guild, they're often seen as sisters. So, yeah. And so the goals of the guild are to create, maintain, and protect the portals, increase magical knowledge and power by retrieving lost lore and researching new spells and magic items, increase historical and current knowledge by exploring the world and ancient ruins, preserve as much of this knowledge as possible, and protect people and cities from the horrors in the wilds. Not horrors, horrors. It kind of sounds the same. They both sound the same when I say them.
Supposed to be a lot of stuff for us to do, you know? Like,
Yeah, it's a lot to do.
they're asking a lot of us.
Elandria daycare service.
I do kind of like that phrase of the eldritch butterfly. That has a certain kind of vibe to it. I don't know about family. And I obviously can't say brotherhood because we don't want to be that gender specific.
Yeah, we don't have a good gender neutral thing like brother sister, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Damn you,
What about
English.
the order?
Yeah, we could be the order of the butterfly. Oh wait. Don't think there might be some
We could-
trademarking there.
Yeah, like, are you?
I'm just saying, order is the.
I was asking Nathan if he was like, if the butterfly thing gets too close to the order of the butterfly.
I mean, no, Samson would be all aboard calling it butterfly stuff. See, originally the order of the butterfly would have been the Lepidotarian order, but I don't. That's a bit of a mouthful, because it's a butterflies and moths, the family Lepidotaria. But it just doesn't have the same ring to it.
Band of the Eldritch Butterfly.
The BEB.
I don't like Arcane Eye. It reminds me of WoW.
Yeah, I think it is a spell actually too. Now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
it
in
is.
order in World of Warcraft.
Third eye's kind of like what you always think about is that like supernatural sensing thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's
Yeah,
what I
lots of-
thought.
All right. Well, let's move
Something
on.
dirty, Chrissy.
Is everybody? So everybody's okay with the colors?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. That's the most important thing. So, at least for tonight. All right. So we'll start out. You guys are in camp. You've had your long rest, and maybe Wraith was asleep when you got back, or something, or for some reason you guys just really haven't talked much, so that you can do that now, and you can tell Wraith what he missed.
He's like sitting there, like acting as if he wasn't hurt.
Well, you've had plenty of time to rest. You don't even know what we've been through down there. Absolutely.
It's a wonder you survived
Ooh.
without me.
It is a wonder. And Samson, looking kind of quizzically at Azrael, who is Chrissy, says, yeah, it is a wonder that we survived.
What do you mean by that?
Well, we didn't. She died.
Wraith looks around like he's looking for some other confirmation. Like his eyes flick to Yorick, and he immediately looks past him. He's like, no,
I mean,
Asriel is true.
Toad is gone, and when I awoke from a slumber that I was put in not so carefully, I was not tucked in so gently with a kiss, but more with the blow of a blade. She had no life about her. Yet here she stands.
But perhaps
Do you know that for certain? Did you come to me and verify this fact?
I mean, I wasn't worried with the situation. The thing was gonna kill the kid.
Yeah.
Then how do you know that I was not just in a not so nice slumber like yourself?
Because even in not so nice of a slumber, my one draws breath.
Did you get close enough to verify whether or not I drew breath? How
I
do you
did
not know that
smell
I
the
did?
garlic on your breath. That is true.
Asriel, you've yet to lie to me. To my knowledge, did you die or did you not?
I stand, do I not?
It's not an answer.
If I stand before you, then how would I have died?
You answer questions with questions. That's not an answer again. Do you deny it or not?
I do not know.
Back in a place that I call home, it is not uncommon. Well, uncommon not being the right word. It is not unheard of for certain practitioners. I don't know how much any of you know about the Order of the Butterfly, out of character to any of you. I mean, they're not particularly secretive, but their members are not absolutely outstanding. I mean, they have a reputation.
I think anybody from the city would know of them as far as like the dancing school, but the whole psionics part is probably pretty on the down low for the most part.
Oh, one thing I didn't label out there was they're not just psionics. They would also probably cover monks and maybe some fighters. I don't know. But anyways, it is not uncommon that one of my patrons, I guess that's the word we would use for it these days, would see one of the brothers who had fallen from exhaustion, whose heart would stop, but would come back alive, though they would always come back alive very changed. I don't know how changed he is at this time. Or maybe I was wrong.
There's something suspect about this. If only there were more opinions to solicit. And he looks over at Yorick again and then looks away like, I'm not getting this guy's opinion. He'll just lie to me and try to get me underneath some dead bug.
But I guess it's not that important. Maybe she can do such a great trick again.
An undying ally would be a fine thing. And what of our other ally? Where did the big one go?
Where did the big one go? I was too worried with getting out of that accursed hole.
I believe
Did
Dwayne
you
said
remember
when
to
you
pull him
guys
out?
when you guys left the tomb that he was like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I think that's basically the one.
He was like, screw you guys, I'm going home.
I think the prospects, Samson says to Raise, I think the prospects of this whole business was not for his homey ways.
He did not seem well suited to it, I will say that.
The tomb does continue. Right. We did not reach its very dark depths.
Well, I am ready if the rest of you are.
Can you hear that?
Dog barking?
That's my dog.
Not
It's
the
my
barking.
neighbor's dog.
Not the barking. The music.
Uh-uh.
Nine.
Okay. As long as you guys can't hear it, then
I mean, you sometimes talk and we don't hear it, so us hearing some music in the distance.
it's not in the distance. It's coming up through the floor.
Oh,
No.
well. But no. So yeah. Samson looks unwearily at Azrael. He's not 100% sold on what he saw in that tomb, for he himself has experienced some not so
To
good
be
things.
fair, nobody actually went up to her and verified that she was in fact dead. The only evidence you have that she was dead is the monster walked away from her.
The fact that she was so evasive definitely concerns Wraith.
Well, and also remember that there was some strange things happening.
Yeah.
Like there was the weird, like it got cold and there was this feeling of strangeness.
She's probably possessed
See,
by
but they didn't
some
bring
sort
that
of
up.
demon, so it's cool.
And I don't even know if Samson would have realized that at the heat of the moment. He was fighting that thing.
True.
And very wounded and concerned. But he is neither wounded nor particularly concerned at this moment, so...
Are we going back? There's more.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think so.
we
Why
may
did we
have...
come here again?
Otherwise, we don't get to join, right? We don't get to join the crew.
Yeah, we have business, and I'd be very curious as to see what that moaning is that's coming from the very depths of that place.
Oh yeah, we gotta find that out.
I was just like, wait, why did we actually come here again? Because were we looking for something or were we trying to kill something? I forgot.
No, I think if we clear this, we get to join the Adventurers Guild or whatever.
We'll
So we're
certainly-
killing things. We're not looking for something.
Well, I think
I don't think there's a MacGuffin. No.
we're planning to search it and to clear out any evil beings.
Well, remember, if you guys bring back anything of like historic significance or any kind of knowledge, the guild likes that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we got that journal.
Yeah.
We know that there's more people coming tomorrow, was my understanding, which means, I guess, today? I don't
Well,
know.
you don't know when. You were just told. I think it was Mastic actually told you that. You know, eventually they'll send someone to check this out, and if it checks out, then they'll send an actual group.
We got the hot tip. At the end of, and I haven't actually labeled this out yet, at the end of our rest, I'll use Strength of Mind to change my save from Dexterity to Constitution.
Okay.
Because if anything does what anything has done so far, I'd rather not. But now, knowing my luck, I'll change it and everything will be Dex saving throws. But yeah, Samson's ready to go.
Yeah. Let's do this.
It's Boogie.
Azrael's way more enthusiastic about going in here than she was on any of the other days, which is pretty impressive considering she was pretty enthusiastic to begin with.
Cool.
Nice.
Who's first? I think Samson. I think you're first, right?
So we make our way back to the tomb. Let me see.
When we first enter, Wraith wants to listen to see if there's any sounds that are new or different from the last time we were here.
Okay. It sounds similar. You still hear the moaning every once in a while coming from within.
Oh, and of course I have Azrael light me up. If she's so obliged to.
Yep. Just nice little dull muted periwinkle light
Oh,
coming off the
21
field.
perception. Let's see. Do you hear anything else? No. That's a really good roll, though.
I don't hear anything
Okay.
else. Just that
Samson.
moaning.
Kind of carefully. I mean, we have walked these halls enough times, so now he's been here. He's been down up and down these halls more time than some
right.
places in Elandria. Azrael,
Sorry, I
up
was
the down.
putting a something in my character sheet so I didn't forget.
What is this, by the way? This
That's
thing?
that fake door that was
Big
trapped.
door.
That
You should try to open
found.
Perhaps you should try.
I already tried.
Samson
Yeah, I
will
forgot to
point
tell
out-
you, on that wall behind the door, the word sucker was painted.
Oh, nice.
Big move.
Samson will. Oh, go ahead.
What was in here as we walked by? Like, was that circle still there?
Yeah, it's like part of the floor.
Did we investigate the circle at all to figure out what its purpose or powers were?
Yeah,
was broken?
Azrael did.
Okay.
Samson will point out to wraith the corpse of the mimic that we fought.
I
As we
blame one of
pass
us
him.
for that.
And here he'll label out that we fought a white that came from here. Azrael, he was
we-
down. The fight kind of ended over here.
We defeated it, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Kicked its ass.
We also killed something else in this doorway.
Yeah, there was
That's
a
all right.
yeah, there was some kind of dark figure that we fought here. We fought some skeletons, and here a big one and a little one, and then the white died over here. He was of the fury, and so now we
What's our
down
XP
into the
total?
depths. Mine's 1506.
Okay, that's what I should have to.
Azrael summons out her packed weapon. It'd be the first time Wraith saw it. A scythe blade just comes out from the end of her staff, and it's all like purpley and swirly. And if you stare at it too long, it kind of draws your eyes in.
Whoa.
Did you bring that back from the other side?
It comes from another side, maybe. So these are just stairs that descend
Yeah.
and descend and descend.
Yeah, it goes down 3 stories basically.
All right, let's hold on a second. Let's listen first. I'll do a listen. Oh, or Wraith will.
He'll listen
21?
with you.
All right.
All right. You hear the moaning, and that's it.
My pointy elf ears hear nothing but moaning.
All right.
That was
We
it.
should keep an eye out. This place is trapped. We should keep an eye out for traps. So let's go slow. Let's go like at a slow movement
Mhm.
and be checking for traps as we go.
Be wary of any pressure plates or tripwires.
Yes.
Yes. Keep apart. 5 feet. Samson will peer around this corner.
Okay. I just realized I'm missing a very important macro. Oh,
Sounds
I'm
like
gonna
a
have to do
script.
that later. I don't remember how to do this. Macro fail. All right, so you're peering around the corner. Big room. Let's see.
Samson makes hand gestures.
The walls of this room are crude, as if drawn by a pencil.
All right. So this room is a gallery, like art gallery, basically. There are paintings and tapestries on the walls. Most of the paintings are pretty bad off, pretty deteriorated, to the point that a lot of them you can't even tell what they originally were of. However, the tapestries, although kind of covered in like black soot, they're still, you can kind of see what they are. There are also like little statues on little columns and stuff. And the kind of the theme of all the art in here is a woman with long hair, obviously a noble, you know, in like really fancy clothes. And a couple of the tapestries, like if you kind of wipe the soot off or whatever, you can see that her hair is bright red. And some of them are just likenesses of her, but a lot of them show her like helping people, like giving food to poor people or tending to sick people. And she's always helping like peasants, basically. And you see a symbol quite a bit. Oh, actually, I'll show you that later. But you see a symbol with her image a lot of a raven with like a red eye, or sometimes the raven itself is red.
The Red-Eyed Ravens. There's our team name.
And at
So
this
here you
point,
go.
Steve, I don't remember how much I told you about that scroll you had, but you had a whole day to kind of go
Yeah.
through it. So basically, hundreds of years ago, Elandria was the capital city of a nation, and during the certain time there was a princess who was known as the Red Raven for whatever reason. She took that as her sigil, probably partly because she had this like flaming red hair, and she was very loved by the people. Like she was very like all about humanitarian stuff and, you know, feeding the poor and helping the poor. And this was a time when the kingdom was losing, it was starting to draw in because the more distant towns and villages, like it couldn't protect them and things were getting worse. And so this was when a lot of the other towns and villages were lost. And she would often go out to these kind of faraway places and, you know, help with the injured or, you know, do whatever she could. And her chief bodyguard formed an order that was called the Knighthood of the Red Raven, that were kind of like elite bodyguards, and they would go with her when she would leave the city and go to these far-flung places to help people and protect her. And the scroll that you have seems to have been written by this knight that created the order.
Okay.
And like I said before, like he kind of had a crush on her. It seems from the scroll that they were at least somewhat romantically involved, though it's unclear like how far that went. And towards the end of the scroll, he starts talking about one of his brothers in the knighthood that he has basically caught with this princess, like romantically engaged. And he over time just gets more and more angry and jealous, and you can tell from the writings that he's kind of starting to become unhinged a little bit. And some of the last entries he talks about getting his revenge on this other knight, but he's never really clear like what exactly he means by that.
Interesting. Okay. So like as we like look at this room, Wraith relays like the essence of that, particularly that this would appear to be items relating to this person known as the Red Raven. In terms of the room itself, like does this look like does it look like a place where she might have been buried, or more so like if you were a crazy person and you were obsessed with somebody and you wanted to put together a little shrine, like is it that type of
Yeah, it looks, you probably at this point you would guess that her tomb is in here somewhere, and
Okay.
this room seems to be like celebrating her life and like all of her deeds that she was remembered for.
I mean, what's the general ethics on grave robbing in this part of Primordia?
We have no problem with it.
Well, see, yeah, that's the thing. They don't
Totally
really
cool.
have a concept like we do of like preserving things archaeologically, you know.
Right.
And the thing is you guys have seen that the earlier parts of this tomb have already been like completely looted of anything remotely valuable. So now that you guys have proceeded to destroy, you know, the creatures that were in here, you know, it basically, if you don't take stuff, probably someone else will. And at the very least, anything that's might have any knowledge or anything associated with it, you can sell to the guild, and like they give you like market value or whatever for it, and then they like basically put it in a museum or
Right,
study
it'll
it
be
or whatever.
preserved, right?
Right,
Yeah, okay.
right.
Okay, so we know that we're not like just pillaging this place.
So it's
Okay.
basically
So
a way
pretty
that you
much
guys can be
everything-
tomb robbers without actually being tomb robbers.
So pretty much everything we take, we're going, you belong in a museum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if it's
Well, it's-
something like, I don't know, like say you find this magic sword or something that has historical significance, but obviously it's something you want to keep because it's useful. Like something like that, they would just want to get a chance to study it, but they would let you keep it, you know?
Okay.
Like, so you don't have to worry about, oh, let's not tell them we found this thing.
Right.
Usually the stuff they want, you wouldn't want anyway. You would just sell it anyway. So,
So this room is full of old tattered paintings and stuff.
yeah. And little
So-
statues and
Statues and stuff. Okay. Do we want to go through this a little bit for lootage?
What we could do, Wraith could take the time to use detect magic as a ritual just to see if there's anything magical about it.
That's
Yeah.
a good idea.
I will say, as far as like the artwork, it's all like some of the tapestries might have some historical value if they're cleaned up, but everything's so deteriorated it's not really worth anything. And it's covered with this black soot, which a lot of the stuff in this tomb has been, like almost like there was a fire or something. And remember, this whole place is kind of unnaturally warm for some reason.
Okay. So I think what we'll do is, like, we can come back and collect all this. Well, maybe while Wraith is casting detect magic, we can start gathering up, like rolling up the tapestries, cutting the paintings out. You know.
Yeah. I'll do that.
While you guys are doing that, Azrael's just gonna watch the hallways and make sure
Good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good idea.
with her
Um,
dark vision.
I will be doing such as what Steve said, but I will be doing it this time using Mage Hand. So moving shit around, but I'm gonna be 30 feet away because that's the range of Mage Hand. And
I just imagined when Yorick uses Mage Hand, a little like a joystick controller appears in his hand, like a really
Yes.
old timey one. It's like
Yes. Yeah.
E.
old Nintendo style or Atari 2600 style.
Yeah, the big old button on top.
Playing. Well, the button was on the side. It was a big red button on the side.
Oh,
But it was I'm playing Adventure, where you had a big, giant pixelated sword. And yeah, I'll be doing that, kind of going through stuff, basically moving stuff. I would kind of want to just get an inventory, whatever inventory I can in the 10 minutes it takes Wraith to cast the spell. And I
Okay.
just kind of want to look around as much as I can.
Cool.
So I guess I would have to move kind of into the middle of the room a little bit to. I can reach everything from there.
Yeah.
So
That's about what
All right. Let's see. Chrissy, make me a perception roll.
almost tried to make you a performance roll instead.
Okay, cool. All right, so Wraith, you cast your detect magic ritual. 10 minutes go
Okay.
by, and Yorick's cleaning, and you don't sense anything magical in this room.
Perfect. Nothing magical here.
and it's much less like I'm cleaning with the Mage Hand as it is I'm like picking something up and just kind of throwing it to the side to get to see what's behind it. So it'll be a
Okay.
bigger mess by the time I'm done. Than the Mage
Gotcha.
Hand. And I
Gotcha.
will not pick up my room. I don't care what you say.
Wraith, like when he's casting the spell, angles his vision so he doesn't have to look at Yorick while he's doing that. Like,
All right.
all right, so I guess we'll proceed.
Nothing in there. Just want me to light it up? I could firebolt this shit. No? Okay. Whatever you say. I like you, Wraith. I'm gonna stay close to you. And he goes up and he tries to hold your hand again.
He moves away very quickly.
Man. Samson watching the loving father son bond forming. Will walk himself out down this hallway a bit and upon this room with utter horror and disgust, I'm sure.
All right. Reveal your secrets. Big room. All right. So this is a tomb. Let's see. So this is similar to the room you were just in. There's murals painted on the wall as well as some tapestries. However, there is none of the black soot in this room. And as you guys go into the room, you actually feel the temperature drop. It's probably about 10 degrees cooler in this room. And you see in the middle of the room raised up on a stone platform is a sarcophagus. And kind of like the ancient Egyptian ones, the top of it is carved in this woman's likeness. So it looks like a stone version of hers, like laying on this stone table. That's actually her coffin, basically. And you guys enter the room?
Yeah.
No, first, well, before Wraith goes in, he's going to listen again to see if like the sounds have become louder or anything like that.
This is the room that that moaning sound is coming from, but you can't. It doesn't seem to be coming from a certain spot in the room. It just seems to be kind of coming from everywhere in this room.
And you said there was a sarcophagus carved to look like someone?
Yeah, it looks like the woman in the pictures with the red hair.